Did they tell you what I'm doing?
Yes.
Okay, so it's called Epic 5. So how many of you have heard of an Ironman or a triathlon? Who knows what are the 3 sports? What's the first one? You guys can say. Swimming. What's the second one? And then, good. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But I'm going to be doing that every day for 5 days. And the best part is, who knows where it is? Hawaii. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but I get to go to 5 different islands. So I'm going to start on this island, which is Kauai. And then I get to fly that night to Oahu. And then I'm going to do another race in Oahu. And then I'm going to fly the next morning to Molokai. I know these names, it took me a while to learn too. Do another race that day, fly out the next morning, go to Maui. And then I fly out the next morning to the Big Island. Okay? So, I don't know if any of your questions are, but a lot of people say, well, what exactly are you doing? Do any of you know the distances? Okay, how many of you like to swim? So the swim is 2.4 miles. That is about 4,000 yards in the pool. Okay, or about, I think it's 100 and some laps back and forth. Then I get to go on my bike for 112 miles. Yeah, that's from here to Salisbury, right before the beach. Okay, and then I get to run a marathon. Who knows how many miles it is in a marathon? 26.2. So you guys, for the fall fun run, do you know how long you guys run for? 1 mile. Imagine doing that 25 more times. So what I say is, imagine tomorrow morning waking up, swimming, biking, and running until it's almost time to go to bed. That's about how long I'm going to be doing it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Just a little bit of perspective. So, who has questions?
We all do.
We'll go in the circle. What's your question?
How do you feel about doing the race?
How do I feel about doing it? How many of you have ever done something new and exciting that you're a little nervous about and you're not sure how it's going to go? So just like that, I'm nervous, I'm excited, I'm scared, but I feel confident. So I kind of feel all the emotions, but the biggest one I say is I'm very, very excited. Good question. Olivia?
What is your diet like for training?
Well, what's my diet like for training? Well, that's a lot of questions. So first off, my diet is very simple. I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for lunch, for breakfast, for dinner too. I know. Me and Mr. Serpico don't like a lot of types of food, so a lot of it has been pizza, pasta. But the great part about it is, since I'm on the bike for like 6 hours, I get to eat whatever I want. I've eaten Pop-Tarts, candy, chips for the soul, some bananas. But I kind of get to eat whatever I want because I work out so much. So the diet's kind of whatever I feel like eating, and it's good. Even chocolate cake. Yes.
Have you practiced for it?
Have I practiced for it? Well,
That's not even the word for it.
So I've been doing triathlons for 20 years.
What?
Yep. I know. I know you're saying I look like I'm only 20. How is that possible? But, so I started when I was in high school. There was not a Girls on the Run program when I was younger. So I've done 20 Ironmans separate, just on one day, and then that's it. So have I practiced for it? No. I mean, have I actually done it? No. But I've trained for it, where I've done about 8 hours on Saturday, 8 hours on Sunday, about 4 hours on Friday, and 4 hours on Monday. So I haven't done the event fully, but I have practiced. Yes, just like you guys practice, right? Jayla?
What made you want to do this and why?
That's a good question. Same thing like I could ask you, why are you guys doing Girls on the Run?
Because I want to.
Yes. Well, so that's the thing, is some people say, why do you want to do this? This is crazy. But like I said, I've done 20 Ironman, and they're not as exciting anymore because I know I can finish. So I wanted a goal that I got excited about, but also got scared about. And do you guys know how many females have done it? How many girls have finished it? Only 3. 3 in the world. So if I finish it, I'll be the 4th female ever to finish it. So that excites me a lot. So that was another reason I want to do something that I can inspire other people to do, whether it's a 5K or an Ironman. Question. See you, you're next. Oh, what is it? Oh, no. No. I think if I were to do this, I wouldn't do it ever again. No. Yes.
How did you get invited to compete?
How did I get invited? I had to go through an interview process. I had to fill out an application, like those of you that want to be safeties and stuff. You had to fill out an application and needed to make sure that I met the criteria. And then I actually had to be interviewed. So they needed to make sure that this wasn't my first event that I've ever done. So they needed to interview me and then make sure that I was ready, and then I got an invitation. And pay the entry fee.
How many hours will it take to complete this challenge?
I don't know. I'm hoping each day it's going to take me about 15 hours each day. So how many hours is that total?
How many days are you doing?
5 days.
75 hours.
75 hours I get to work out. Isn't that exciting?
Monday to Friday.
Yep. So think, when I ask you guys to jog for 5 to 7 minutes outside, I'm going to say that's nothing compared to the 75 hours, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good.
How many people are participating?
3.
Wait, seriously?
3. There was 8 people signed up, then it dropped down to 5, and then just last week they dropped down to 3 because 2 people got injured. So as you can see, training can take a toll on your body, and a lot of, one pulled their hamstring and then somebody else did something with their knee, so they unfortunately had to back out. So there's me, a guy I think from Florida, and another guy from India. I'm the only girl. Watch out! I know. Yep.
How do you stay hydrated while competing?
I bring, just like you all, I have water bottles. How many of you have bikes that have little water bottle holders? Okay. So I make sure I have 2 water bottles in there, and I normally put Gatorade. And how many of you ever seen people run with like backpacks? Yep, I use those. And the cool part is I'm gonna have somebody with me on the swim, somebody that's gonna be in a kayak or a paddler, and he's gonna have a water bottle for me. So I can stop and make sure that I drink plenty for all parts of the race, because I don't wanna get dehydrated. Because is it hot or cold in Hawaii? Wow. So I gotta make sure I stay hydrated. Yep.
Will you be staying overnight?
Yes. I will be staying, we fly the first night, or the first day we fly out that night, and then everything else we sleep, or we do the race, we sleep, and then we fly out in the morning, and then do the race that day. So we fly and race at the same time. Yes.
What is your strategy?
Just have one. No. To pace myself. How many of you, even when we do the fall fun run, or even when you girls are running, you have a plan, but you follow somebody else's plan because you want to race somebody else, or you want to beat somebody else, or you want to stay with your friends. So my plan is to do my race and not anybody else's. And you know what the most important part? You ask anybody what I want to do? I want to have fun. So as long as I'm having fun while I'm doing it, that's my plan. Yep.
Wow.
How far do you run when you're practicing for the marathon?
Good. The farthest I've run for this is I actually did a marathon. I did a marathon. Rosie, wasn't your dad there at the B&A marathon? Yes. So I actually ran 26.2 miles. But mostly I'll normally run about 2 hours to 2.5 hours. That's usually what most of my runs have been.
How long have you been training?
20 years. 20 years. But when I figured out I was supposed to do this race because I didn't want to take 2 weeks away from work, I was actually going to do this in Canada in July. I know. But get this. Nobody wanted to do it except for me. So they canceled that one, and instead I get to go to Hawaii. So I've been training since December, since around Christmas time of December. So quite a few.
Do you change your clothes during races?
Yes. So I will. I will be wearing a bathing suit when I'm swimming, and they have this thing called a wetsuit that keeps you kind of afloat. And then there'll be a changing tent, so I don't have that I will change into a bike kit, and then I will get out of that, and then I will wear run clothes. And I'll change my shoes too, because I have special biking shoes. So yep, I will fully change. So that means I gotta pack a lot of stuff.
Now, Suzy, how many of these 5-day things have you done?
None.
Oh, this is your first.
This is the first. Yes.
So tell me what it's called again?
Epic 5.
Epic 5.
Yeah.
I've done a couple of them.
Yeah, I do them every year.
Every day.
I just wanted to make sure.
Just
yeah.
make sure you're doing the same one.
Because I gotta let my people know about this.
Yes.
Miss Oswald,
Yeah.
come this
Because
way.
you're the closest thing to famous
You're
that we know.
amazing. We can't wait. We want to see footage.
Epic 5.
Thank you.
Oh my God, Suzy. Oh my God.
Whoa. Oh, but so you guys know Hawaii is 6 hours behind. So when it's 6 o'clock here, it'll be noon in Hawaii. Yeah, so I'll be a little bit behind. Rocco.
Do you have any sayings to keep motivated?
That's a good. I do. I have a lot of sayings. So many of you have seen this. I don't. Many of you don't know what it means. So usually before every race, my mom and dad have a saying that they say to me, and they say, "Remember who loves you." And that's something that I tattooed. I got tattooed on my arm, so that's one of my big sayings that I have. So that's my biggest slogan. I say, "Remember who loves you." Khadijah.
How do you plan to recover from this?
Well, I have to come back to work.
No, maybe they can lay off and sleep.
I know. How do I plan on recovering? Well, just because I'm done doing the race, it doesn't mean that I'm going to stop working out. So I'll probably do some short swims, some short bikes, take some naps after work. But I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know. Get some massages. Yeah.
Do you have anybody to cheer you on?
Do. So you actually need to bring something called a crew. So you have to have people come with you. So I have 3 people coming with me. No, I wish my mom and dad could come, but they can't. It's actually a parent of somebody in 2nd grade that's coming, and then a good buddy of mine that lives in Canada. So they're coming with me, and they're on my crew. So basically, we're going to be driving in a minivan, and they're going to be following me wherever I go. And in that van is my Pop-Tarts, my snacks, my drinks, whatever I want is in that van. Same thing for the run. And then they get less sleep than I do, because when I'm done, my job is to go to bed. Their job is to pack my bike up, pack my stuff up, so we're ready to fly out the next day. So they're looking at maybe 3 hours of sleep a night. I know. I'm lucky to have some friends that want to come with me. Yeah.
How much sleep will you get after each race?
That's a good question. So she just asked that question. Hopefully, I'll get about 4 hours of sleep. But as we get a little bit longer, I know some people have only gotten about an hour of sleep. I know. So, but I'll try to sleep on the plane, sleep at the airport, get as much sleep, or as we'll call it, little naps as I can.
Are you going alone?
Well, Mr. Serpico is staying back here. My husband wanted to go, and my dog is staying back here too. It's the sad part. I know, it would be so awesome if she could come. I know, Lucy's been my running partner. But my 2 friends that live here, they're flying with me, and then my friend from Canada. And then my other competitors, that we become one big happy family. So I won't be alone.
Are you swimming in the ocean or a pool?
So 4 of the days I'm swimming in the ocean. And then the 3rd day I'm swimming in the pool because there's a lot of, what do you think? Sharks and Molokai. So we are not swimming in the ocean. We get to swim in a pool on day 3. Yep, you do your laps back and forth. No sharks for me. Yes. Yeah, your question.
Will there be a lot of waves, and if so, how do you swim through them?
Oh, good question. So, I don't know what the waves are going to be like. How many of you have been to the beach? And one day there's a lot of waves, and one day there's no waves. So you really can't predict what the waves are going to be. But I will tell you, swimming is my is my best out of the 3. So I feel confident swimming through the waves because I've done quite a lot of swimming in the ocean and in the open water. So hopefully it'll be nice, calm, and I can look at all the sea turtles. That's my goal, sea turtles. Yes.
You already answered this, but I want to say it again. How long will you be gone for?
I will be gone for 2 weeks. So I leave on Thursday. So I leave this Thursday. And then when you guys come back to school on Monday, that'll be day 1. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I'm gonna fly back on Tuesday, but flying back from Hawaii is an overnight flight. So I won't get back until Wednesday. And then I won't be at school on Thursday, because I will be sleeping. And then I will be here Friday. So I will be gone for 2 weeks. Miss Shopper will be here. So yeah. Yeah.
Where will you be on the weekend, like Saturday and Sunday?
So I'm flying into the first island, Kauai. So I'm gonna be staying there. So the first island, I'm gonna be staying there for a few days, and then when I'm done, I'm gonna be staying on the big island. So I'm gonna stay in that place for a few days.
I remember once in the announcement, they announced that you were the first person who finished the triathlon.
There's been a few triathlons that I have done that I have I've been lucky and fortunate enough to come in first. But again, everyone gets to finish it, so that's all that matters.
If you have to use the bathroom in the middle of it, what do you do?
That's an honest question. So, there's something called Mother Nature. If there is nothing there, hopefully my crew will find the closest bathroom. But if it happens, you know.
Oh well.
It's the ocean.
Trees. Yes.
How far away are the islands from each other? Like how long a flight?
I think the longest flight might be like an hour and a half.
So they're quick.
They're pretty quick.
Okay.
Some of them, yes.
I've clearly not been to Hawaii.
Yeah, no, I haven't done island to island, so who knows?
So are you doing all the islands? Is that what it is?
5 Ironmans, 5 days, 5 different islands.
Yeah, my daughter, she went to Hawaii last year. They did 3 of them.
Yeah, so I get all 5 of them.
Yeah.
I get to sightsee by biking and running.
Oh, you're gonna have a good
No better
time.
way I would rather be.
Yeah.
When you go on a plane to the different islands, do you have to pay?
Yes, I've already booked I paid for this race,
Yeah.
and within these races, because they've done it before, they book your flights in between the islands. So in my entry fee, they took care of the flights. So they got that taken care of.
It's expensive.
You've done a try, right? Look at your shirt. How many of you want to do a triathlon? How many of you don't know? Maybe. That's okay. I didn't know I wanted to do one until I was in high school. Actually, you guys know this. I'm going to tell the secret. Okay. I hated elementary PE. I know. Don't tell anybody, but I actually did not like elementary PE. PE was a little bit different, but I was not very athletic back when I was younger. So, but I figured, you know what? I've been able to change that around so I can try to make you guys enjoy PE different than my experience. I know, Rose.
Are there going to be, do you know if there's going to be, 2, this is all related. One, are there going to be any other sea animals in the ocean?
I hope so, I'll let you know.
And
As long as no
also,
sharks.
in all the other ocean ones, not the pool one,
Yeah.
will there be sharks?
I don't think so. They've done this for 9 years. So, and I think that safety comes first. If they do happen to see any sharks, then they won't let us in the water. And that's okay. See.
Then you go to the pool. Or you just don't do it.
There has been 3 girls. 1 girl from Georgia, 1 girl from Australia, and those 2 have been very wonderful and very supportive. I've talked to both of them on the phone, and they email me and we text that they've been very supportive of giving me some guidance and advice. There's about maybe, I think, 32 people in the world that have finished it, and that includes men.
Have you ever met them in person?
Not in person. I'm hoping one day I will get to meet them, because they've been very, very nice. No, she's very quiet. So I have not heard much of her. She's not really active on social media. So no, she hasn't really heard. Her name's Robin, but she hasn't. And that's okay. That's okay.
How much money did you pay for the?
You could buy a car.
What kind of car was that?
You know, as they say, experiences are priceless. I paid a little bit more.
A little bit.
Too much. Can't tell you.
$5.
Can't tell you.
The parents don't tell me anything.
Yeah.
Can we track you?
Yes. So, adults, it's on Facebook. Even my husband created a page. My friend Stephanie Blades and her husband are coming, and Stephanie's very active on social media. So if you like the Epic 5 page, or my husband created Support Suzy, that's my first name in case you didn't know. Suzy Serpico through the Epic 5. So they'll be doing the updates through Facebook. Yes.
Fundraising. The cause. I think that is important to maybe.
I will tell. So, how many of you know what a fundraiser is? Okay. So part of this, and I'll tell you, we're very lucky. You're lucky that you get to do a program like Girls on the Run. You're also very lucky that we get to wake up every day and we get to be able to run. Okay, that you have that choice, because some people don't. So for me to be able to do something like this, I'm very, very thankful for that. And I wanted to tie something into that. So my dad has something called Parkinson's. Has anybody heard of Parkinson's? Michael J. Fox, maybe. So it's kind of something that affects him. He's okay, but what I wanted to do was do a fundraiser for that. So my goal, over those 5 days, I'm covering 703 miles. So my goal to fundraise was to raise $7,030. All right. Right now, I'm at $8,500 that I've fundraised for it. So that is pretty cool. I'm way over my cause. Yeah, so it's been very, very nice to tie that too. So thank you. So yes. Anything else? Jay.
What do you get when you finish your
No, you get, so there is something that you get a nice finisher thing. They have a few awards. It's not like they award first, second, or third place. But let's say something does happen on day 2. And let's say my bike breaks down, or I'm not able to do something that's out of my control and I'm not able to finish day 2. That doesn't mean my event is over. I can still do the event on day 3, day 4, and day 5. It just means that instead of being considered a finisher, I would be considered a participant. But you get a nice little Hawaiian bowl and some stuff. I'll let you know, I'll bring it in. Hopefully it'll say finisher on it. It will say finisher on it, right?
Yeah, it
Yes.
will.
Oh, I
That growth mindset.
But could you when you're in the pool, will you have a canoe?
Nope. It'll just be flip turns back and forth. I have to have somebody count my laps though.
Will you be able to get a turn?
Yes. I'll have my water bottle at the end of the pool.
How many laps are you doing in the pool?
So it's about 4,000, so 20, 40 times 4, 172, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 172. Yes.
What's the highest number of people who participated?
I think 10. And you know what's crazy? So next year they're doing this event, and it's the 10-year anniversary. So instead of doing the Epic 5, they're basically doing the Epic 10. So when you think what I'm doing is that they're doing 10 Ironmans in 10 days. I will not be doing that.
What's your main purpose for doing this? Or what could you tell these girls about kind of why you're doing it?
I think because it challenges me. How many of you, we've been learning a lot about the growth mindset, right? Yeah. Easily I could see that event and say, that's too hard. I need to work too much at that. But if you find a goal and it's meaningful to you, what are you going to do? Are you going to work towards it? Or are you going to not do anything for it? You're going to work for it, and it's going to be exciting because you know once you get done, it's going to be worth it. So this was something that, hey, I could have said, that's a little bit too hard for me, but I'm trying to challenge myself and step out of my comfort zone and grow as a person, but also athletically as well. Yes.
Do you know what the length of the pool is?
25 meters. Same as like the pool that you guys swim around here. So yep, back and forth 100 and so many times. Sophia, Isabel.
So everybody finishes, but if someone gets injured during the trip, what would happen?
Well, it would be up to the athlete to decide how bad the injury is. The injury, if the injury was not bad enough, it could be up to me to decide if I want to continue. Or some athletes might stop and decide, hey, instead it's going to be better for me to support and cheer on the other two athletes. But hopefully I've trained enough that injury is not going to happen. Maybe just some soreness, some blisters.
My mom, she got an email, and she said that we were gonna see you about this today, and she showed me the page on the Epic 5.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool because I saw everyone, the people I think from last year.
Yeah, you can see that, yep.
In their wetsuits. They
Yep.
were like standing right by the ocean.
Yep, and you can see a lot of the pictures, and a lot of it is the Hawaiian experience. When you go to Hawaii, they have their own culture. So I know the first day they do like a Hawaiian blessing and all that stuff, so that's pretty exciting. And you guys can, as long as you get permission from your adults, you can check out Epic 5. It's just epic5.com.
Can we track you?
You could look through the Epic 5 on their page, but is your mom on Facebook?
Yeah.
It's probably mostly going to be on Facebook and social media. I know. Day and age. Rocco.
So when you're swimming on an ocean,
Mm-hmm.
when you swim, when you see a shark?
I don't know. Hopefully that won't happen. Or I will jump in my kayaker's boat. And they say if you see a shark, to hit him in the what? In the nose, the eyes. So that's what I'll try to do. If I see the eyes, I'll go right for the eyes. Yes.
What about if you're still running for the day that you're leaving at that night? What about the flight takes off? Would that be?
So that's the only day that you have to finish within a certain time. All the other times you have like 24, 25 hours, which shouldn't take me that long.
What time do you have to finish it?
On that day you have 16 hours to finish, and that should be okay. That's the first day.
When you're swimming, do you think the ocean's gonna be like clear blue so you can see all the animals?
I hope so. That's what I'm crossing my fingers.
What's the animal that you want to see the most?
A sea turtle. I love turtles. I want to see a sea. That's the sign for sea turtles. Good. Oh.
How are we supposed to do all that in a few days?
How am I supposed to do all that in a few days? I know it sounds crazy, right? Because I've trained and I've practiced. So I've been working out. Normally I get up, I work out before school. This morning I teach a class, so I biked for 45 minutes and I ran 5 miles. Normally then I would go on my bike and I would ride for another 3 hours after school. But it's taper time, so I don't need to go as much. So I got inspired because there's a triathlon. How many of you been to Centennial Park? Okay, there used to be a triathlon there that when I was in high school, I would go by it all the time and see this race. So my parents were nice enough for when I graduated, they got me or when I was in junior, they got me a bike. And I decided to give it a try, and that's when I gave it a try and I fell in love with it. So like, how many 5Ks have you done? Do you enjoy doing them? Is that why you keep coming back? Yep, so remember the first time you tried one, and you're like, I actually kind of like this. So I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. 20 years later.
My dad, he works for United Healthcare, and he does the March of Dimes runs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you ever do them?
I haven't done that one. No.
They're the 5Ks, and I'm doing one this Sunday.
Good. Good, good, good.
My baby cousins, my aunt, and my dad.
Awesome. See, running is a cheap skill. All you need is your shoes. Some good clothes.
And water.
And water too, yes. Yeah. See? But guess what? I'm going to tell you something. For this 26.2 miles in the bike ride, I'm not going to be doing it the whole time. I'm going to take some breaks. So I'm going to stop. Like, how many of you walk while you're running? That's okay too. So I'm going to run, and I'm going to take a few walk breaks. I'm going to try to run most of it, or a majority of it, but I'm also going to be walking some. Okay, that would be unreal, or that would be crazy for me to think that I could run the whole entire thing. Just like some of you, hey, it's okay to walk. Just don't walk the whole thing. You could do that in the mall. Yes. What?
Who encouraged you?
Who encouraged me? Well, I'm kind of a stubborn kid. And when I see something, I want to do it. So I was able to do it, but I was lucky enough to have my mom and dad encourage me and support me while I did it. So I would say my mom and dad have really encouraged me and kept me going.
Will you be running on the sand or like?
I don't know.
Because if you want to stand, it's kind of harder.
It is harder. It'll be a lot harder on, does anybody know what muscle it'll be harder on?
Hamstring.
Good, your hamstrings is one, and
Calf.
yep, your calf muscles. It's a good workout on your calves. So I hope we don't run in the sand, because that would be hard. But that's okay, we can do hard things, right? Mhm. Anything else? I appreciate you guys asking all these questions. It makes me a little bit more, actually it makes me a lot more excited to go and do it. So hopefully when I come back, I'll be here tomorrow, but I'll see you when I come back.
So you're leaving on Thursday.
I'm leaving Thursday morning, 6:45 a.m. Right.